dear friends, welcome to Padai Se Dost YouTube channel. In today's video session, we are going to discuss about the chapter number 4, that is Indian Army, from the Defense Studies book of Standard 9. Okay, so let's begin over here. So we all know about Indian Army. So let's discuss in depth about our Indian Army today in this chapter. So Indian Army is one of the oldest among the three armed forces of India. You all are aware about the three armed forces of India, that is Indian Army, Indian Navy, and Indian Air Force. So, Indian Army is one of the oldest among all these three forces. It has a very rich and ancient heritage from more than 2000 years from the time of Chandragupta Maurya. So, who is this Chandragupta Maurya? He is the first king who has ruled almost entire India with the help of Acharya Chanakya. He removed the cruel king, that is Nanda king, Dhananand. You might have know the name of that Dhananand. He insulted the Acharya Chanakya when he asked him to unite all the kings to fight the Alexander. ओके, द सिकंदर, उसका जो इन्वेजन हुआ था उसके खिलाफ लड़ने के लिए आचार्य चाणक्य ने धनानंद को सभी राजाओं को एक करके उसे मुंह तोड़ जवाब देने के लिए कहा था, लेकिन उसने आचार्य चाणक्य का अपमान करके उनको कोर्ट से भगा दिया था। तो आचार्य चाणक्य ने शपथ ली थी, जब तक धनानंद को मैं राजगद्दी से उतार के नया राज्य को एस्टेब्लिश नहीं करता, तब तक चैन से नहीं बैठूंगा और उनकी वो शिखा थी वो नहीं बांध देंगे, वो ऐसा उन्होंने प्रण लिया था। So, because of his pledge, he established Chandragupta Maurya as a new ruler over the throne of Magad Empire. And since that, there is a Maurya Empire started. The rule of Maurya Empire started, and this Chandragupta Maurya has a very strong army at that time. He defeated the Greek commanders like Seleucus Nicator and all these things, and he established a very strong foundation of Indian rule all over the continent, okay, from Kabul to Kaveri in the south, okay, Kaveri river up to the Kaveri river in the south, okay. So Indian army has a traces from ancient heritage, okay, like 2000 years ago. So Chandragupta itself, it is almost 300 BCE, before common era, okay. So remember this fact. The foundation of the present Indian army was इनहेरिटेड फ्रॉम द ब्रिटिश इंडियन आर्मी, ओके। सो आज जो प्रेजेंट हमारी आर्मी है, जिसमें अलग अलग बटालियंस वगैरह ये सारी चीजें होती है, उसका जो स्ट्रक्चर है, तो ये जो मॉडर्न स्ट्रक्चर है आर्मी का, सो दिस मॉडर्न स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ इंडियन आर्मी, इट इज इनहेरिटेड फ्रॉम द ब्रिटिश इंडियन आर्मी। व्हेन ब्रिटिश केम टू इंडिया, they organize a single army for entire nation, okay. There are different commands of army which operate in different sector of our country, but the operational command, the top authority is in the single hand person, that is the army commander, okay. So the army general is the only person who has the operational command of the entire Indian army. So this is a inheritance of British Indian army. Then we have Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, okay. So he formed, or he led Indian National Army. We know about this INA, Indian National Army, Azad Hind Sena हम जिसे बोलते हैं, during the World War II, to fight for the India's independence from British with the help of Japanese army. Okay, so Subhash Chandra Bose, he fled from the imprisonment at his house, and he first of all go to Russia, then he go to Germany. From Germany, he travel to Japan from the submarine. Okay, so after that he take leadership of this INA, Indian National Army, and he declare war against the British, okay, the colonial power who ruled on our country, okay, for the India's independence. And once Subhash Chandra Bose reached in the northeastern part of India, up to Koima, there was a incident of Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bomb by USA. Okay, so after that, Japan surrender from the war, and INA don't get any arms and ammunition supply from the Japan, and that's why, because of bad weather and distress of arms and ammunition, medicines, and food, INA have to withdraw from that region. Okay, they have to face defeat from British people. So that is a very bad incident, but we can't change the history. Okay, but Subhash Chandra Bose, he gave a very huge contribution, and he gave very huge blow to the British rule in India after Subhash Chandra Bose attack on northeast with the help of Japanese army. He captured Kohima, Imphal, that region. Okay, and after his attack, there is a rebellion in British Indian Army, there is a rebellion in British Indian Navy, there is a rebellion in British Indian Air Force. Okay, so remember this thing. And once British Indian Army, British Indian Navy and British Indian Air Force, they revolted again British rule itself. British thought that our rule cannot be maintained on India for a long time, so that's why they decided to transfer all the powers to the India. Okay, and they declared that we are going to give independence to the India. So that is the big blow given by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Indian National Army. Okay, so that all things, they inherit the Indian Army. Okay, then in this INA there are women also participated. Okay, so women also form a part of INA. Captain Lakshmi lead the women's wing. So you might have know about this Captain Lakshmi say Swaminathan. Captain Lakshmi Swaminathan headed the women's wing. So I hope you know about this particular lady. She is a very brave lady who lead the women battalion in INA. Okay, so remember all this basic information about our army. So it is a more than 2000-year old organization and oldest among all the three armed forces. Here you can able to see the logo of Indian Army. Okay, on army vehicle, on the Indian Army flag, you can able to see this particular logo. Okay, so let's discuss about the role of our army, Indian Army. So role of Indian Army is to safeguard the national interest from the external aggression and internal subversion. So what is the meaning of this external aggression and internal subversion? External aggression का मतलब क्या होता है? कोई भी बाहर की ताकत अगर हमारे देश के खिलाफ कुछ एक्शन ले रही है, हमारे इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर को क्रॉस करने का प्रयास कर रही है, तो उनके अगेंस्ट काम करना, उनको रोकना, ये काम करता है इंडियन आर्मी। और अगर सपोज इंडिया के अंदर कोई बड़ा इंटरनल थ्रेट के लिए इशू निर्माण हो जाता है, या कोई सेपरेटिस्ट ग्रुप, कुछ अलगाववादी लोग इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी को थ्रेट पहुंचाने का काम करते हैं, तो अगेन इंडियन आर्मी came into action and they will shoot down all such a people. Okay, in Jammu and Kashmir you might have heard about the insurgency operation uh, which are conducted by Indian Army. So that is comes under the internal subversion. Okay, or if there is a situation like a civil war in country, then army took over the charge of that area to maintain peace and tranquility in that area. Okay, so remember this is a main function of Indian Army to safeguard the interest, national interest from external aggression and internal subversion. Towards this it has to be ready to perform the following tasks. Okay, so to protect this national interest from external aggression and internal subversion, Indian Army have to be ready for performing the following tasks. So what are the tasks which comes under this? So go to war, defeat the external aggression. Okay, so the best example is the India China Galwan Valley standoff which is going on right now. So our 20 soldiers, they gave their life for protection of our border, for the national security. Okay, so they are protecting us from the external aggression. Okay, on international border. Then strengthen the internal security management to defeat the internal threat. I have already given you the example of insurgency operation in Jammu and Kashmir region. Then there are some northeastern states like Nagaland, some eastern part of Arunachal Pradesh near the border of Myanmar. So there is this insurgency infiltration took place by some separatist group and terrorists. So Indian Army take action to maintain the internal security management. Okay, and to defeat the internal threats like this. Then the third task is the project force whenever and whichever called upon टू सेफगार्ड द नेशन इंटरेस्ट। जब भी कभी उनको उनकी जरूरत पड़ती है और हमारे प्रधानमंत्री या राष्ट्रपति के द्वारा उनको कॉल किया जाता है, तब भी वो आते हैं और किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट को, किसी भी ऑपरेशन को अंजाम देते हैं। So you might have heard about the Operation Cactus. If not, just Google it. You will get each and every information about it. Okay. So what is Operation Cactus? In the Indian Ocean, there is one small island country known as Maldives. So in 1960s or 1970s, there was a some separatist group who captured the Rashtrapati Bhavan of this Malay, and they arrested the Prime Minister and the Rashtrapati of Malay. Uh, and they took the charge of the entire administration, that separatist group. That then the Rashtrapati of Malay, they called to USA and some major powers to for the help. against this separatist group. But USA is far away. Their naval ships are there in Indian Ocean, but it is far away. So they might took 2 days to reach Male. Up till that, all the separatist group, they might have murdered their prime minister and uh, president and all the political leaders. So USA, sorry, the Male called India for their help, and within 12 hours, Indian army commandos, they go over there, they defeat all the separatist group, and they fled the president and prime minister of Mali. So that is the Operation Cactus. So हमारे लीडर ने उनको एक बार प्रोजेक्ट असाइन कर दिया, ऑपरेशन दे दिया कि आपको जाके माले में उनके राष्ट्रपति और प्रेसिडेंट को मुक्त करना है. सो अवर इंडियन आर्मी, they had done the Operation Cactus over there, and they had done a great job over there. Okay, then the next task, to support the peacekeeping operation or military assistance to friendly foreign countries. जो भी हमारे पड़ोसी है, हमारे दोस्त थे, या मतलब पड़ोसी तो नहीं कह सकते हम, जो भी दोस्त थे हमारे, those friendly countries, if there is any problem, any issue, so Indian army go over there for as a peacekeeping force, okay, to maintain the peace and prosperity over there. Okay, then render humanitarian assistance, disaster relief force and aid to civil authorities. जब भी कोई बाढ़ आती है, सुनामी आती है, थंडरस्टॉर्म आता है, कोई भी नैसर्गिक आपदा आती है, if there is any natural or man-made disaster, any disaster is there, or if there is a threat to life and property because of any such a situation, then Indian army is always ready to provide humanitarian assistance. वहाँ जाके लोगों को बचाना, उनको फूड पैकेट सप्लाई करना, उनके लिए रेस्क्यू रिहेबिलिटेशन सेंटर्स बनवाना, तो ये सारा काम हमारी आर्मी करती है. सो डिजास्टर रिलीफ एंड एड टू सिविल अथॉरिटीज. So remember, these are some of the important tasks performed by Indian Army. Here you can able to see very energetic troops of our Indian Army. They are always ready to help the nation, to serve the nation, to help the common man of our country. Okay, so all the people have very soft corner for Indian Army in our country. Okay, so let's see about the command and control of our army. So Indian Army is spread over a 6 operational command and 1 training command. So actually there are 7 command, but the operational commands, they are the 6, based on the geography and perceived security threat. तो इंडिया की ज्योग्राफी के हिसाब से अलग अलग एरियाज में अलग अलग कमांड है. इफ यू कंसीडर द पुणे सिटी, you will get the southern command. Pune is the headquarter for southern army command, and there is a war memorial in Pune, southern command war memorial. If you get time, do visit that war memorial. You will get the immense information about Indian army, how Indian army perform, how is the history of this particular armed forces, and all these things you can able to observe over there. Very good museum is there. You can purchase some souvenirs. You can see actual tank. So there are 6 operational commands. Remember this thing, according to geography and perceived security threats. The commands are further divided into 2 or 3 corps. So remember, this is the hierarchy. This is the physical hierarchy. In previous chapter, we had already discussed about the administrative hierarchy. अलग अलग ऑफिसर के रैंक हमने देखे. अब फिजिकल जो फीचर होता है आर्मी का, जो यूनिट की साइज होती है, उसके हिसाब से ये अलग अलग हायरार्की हम देखेंगे. सो देर आर कमांड, 6 operational command, and these commands are further subdivided into 2 or 3 corps. Corps are further subdivided into 2 to 4 divisions. Divisions are made up of 4 brigades. Okay, each brigade has a 3 or 4 battalions or regiments under it. A battalion is further subdivided into companies, platoons, and sections. So remember this hierarchy. And this section is the smallest unit, comprising 10 soldier, being a smallest entity. Okay. So first of all, there is operational command. Then we have the 2 or 3 corps under it. These corps are further subdivided into divisions. Divisions are further divided into brigades. Brigades are further divided into battalions or regiments. And after that, this battalion or regiment is further subdivided into company, platoon, and sections. And section is the smallest entity, which contain 10 soldier. So each section, it is made up of 10 soldiers. So remember this thing. Then let's discuss about this physical hierarchy through this chart. There is a army headquarter. Okay. So there are 3 headquarters actually under the defense minister: army, navy, and air force. So let's discuss about the army headquarters. Chief of the army staff. Who is the chief of this army staff? It is a general, army general. So Bipin Rawat was the previous army general. Right now it is a Naravne, General Naravne. I don't remember the first initial name of that. I think Manoj Naravne. Okay, so it is a army general right now. Then we have, under this army general, there are some operational commands. So six operational command and one training command, as I have already told you. So it is commanded by general officer commanding. Okay, so GOC means general officer commanding. So जहाँ पे GOC लिखा है उसका मतलब याद रखो, general officer commanding. So this operational command, it is commanded by general officer commanding in chief, that is the army commander. uh, its rank is lieutenant general, 3-star post. It is a 4-star post, army headquarter, the chief of army staff, 4-star post it is. So remember. And right now Indian parliament, they form a new post, that is a CDS, chief of defense staff. So to coordinate the Indian army, Indian navy and Indian air force through a single channel, they created this CDS. It is also 4-star officer, who is just the वन अमंग दिस थ्री. ओके, ये तीनों में से ही एक होता है, लेकिन वो जो हमारे पार्लियामेंट में हमारे डिफेंस मिनिस्टर, प्रधानमंत्री जो होते, सॉरी, डिफेंस मिनिस्टर और प्रेसिडेंट जो होते, जिनके पास आर्मी का कंट्रोल होता है, एग्जीक्यूटिव कंट्रोल, सो उनके बीच में, और ये तीनों जो इंडियन आर्मी, एयरफोर्स और नेवी, इनके हेड के बीच में जो दुआ बनाने का काम, जो ब्रिज का काम करता है, इट इज अ कम्युनिकेशन लिंक बिटवीन द all army headquarters and the defense ministry and the president. Okay, so that is a task of CDS, chief of defense staff. So it is a uh, it helps to take better decisions and to do better planning during different operations. So that's why this chief of defense staff is there. Okay, so remember this thing: six operational command, one training command. Their leading officer is lieutenant general, 3-star officer. Then this operational command further divided into corps. Corps are divided into division, brigades, then battalion or regiment, and then rifle company. Okay, so remember this thing. So his corps are headed by the lieutenant general again. Then divisions, it is headed by major general, 2-star post. Then battalion or regiment, it is ranked by the commanding officer is colonel. Okay, colonel हम जिसे बोलते हैं, colonel. Then we have company. Company is commanded by company commander, also known as lieutenant colonel or the major. Okay, then platoon. Platoon is a JCO. Okay, then we have the section is headed by havaldar, who is a leader of 10 soldiers. Okay, so remember this hierarchy. Then we have some static formation areas also. So what is this static formation area? It is a area commanded directly by the lieutenant general, okay, for army purpose, and there are some sub areas which is commanded by major general. So remember this thing: lieutenant general, major general, they have some autonomy to take decision in the territory. It is a geographical territory where this lieutenant general can take a decision. Okay, so this is an area crucial for army operations. Remember this thing. Then training establishment. So under this army training command, there are training establishment of category A and category B. Category A command is commanded by lieutenant general, 3-star rank, and major general, 2-star rank. Okay, and this category B training commands, they are commanded by major general and the brigadier. So two officers are there, and here also two officers are there. So based on their category, they are commanded. Okay, so this is all about the administrative and the physical hierarchy of the Indian army. So we will discuss further details or role of the each operational headquarter, their location and all this thing in the next video session. I hope you enjoyed this series. If you have any doubt, do comment, and have a great day. Thank you guys.